Yo, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to yet another Ringside Roundup here on the channel, man. And for today's Ringside Roundup, our topic today is going to be, as we know, Liv Morgan this past episode of Raw made a huge decision on who she will face at Wrestlemania. And in today's video, I'm going to be leaving my thoughts on whether I think that was the correct choice. Is that the choice that she should have made? How I think this storyline with the person she picked, how is it going to play out? All that is going to be discussed in today's video. But as always, before we get anywhere to end the video, be sure to help your boy out by liking the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications and never miss an upload. Go follow the socials. You can find the links to those in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. That has been a ton. And one more thing, the comment section is open, man. So be sure to leave your thoughts on everything that we discussed in today's video. Whether that's leaving your thoughts on everything we discussed, debating my thoughts and how I felt on this topic, or leaving your thoughts on anything you want to discuss about the world of professional wrestling. All that can be done down in the comments below. Without further ado, enough talk. Let's get you guys started into today's Ringside Roundup. All right, so starting things off, I think we need to discuss who the two options for Liv Morgan's opponent at WrestleMania were actually going to be. Starting off with the first one, it would be none other than the WWE Women's Champion, Jade Cargill. So this being Jade Cargill being the first choice, or one of the choices that Liv Morgan could have made. Now, Jade Cargill, just looking at Jade Cargill, everything, like her relations with Liv Morgan, there is not many. There is literally no relations with Jade Cargill and Liv Morgan whatsoever. And that is one thing that when you're picking your opponent for WrestleMania, considering that you won the Royal Rumble, you're going to want to pick, yes, the option that, you know, maybe you think is easiest, but also you're going to want to pick the option that you have the most history with. And compared to who the other option was, which we'll discuss in a few moments here, Jade Cargill has literally has had zero build or zero interactions realistically with Liv Morgan. So I feel like if Liv Morgan did pick, or if she picked Jade Cargill, it's kind of like, you know, it would be kind of just something that it's just kind of random, you know, because they just had no build together. They never had any interactions together. Not just that as well. I don't really think Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill is a match that I would want to see, or I feel like a lot of people would want to see. It's just kind of not my particularly favorite match on paper, and I just don't really think it would really deliver compared to how the other match, you know, possibly would, which, like I said, we'll discuss in a few moments here. So looking at Jade Cargill overall, I would say that Jade Cargill definitely is not the right person for Liv to pick, hypothetically, if she did pick her. Just because, like I said, there's just no build between them. That match on paper just wouldn't be that great, in my opinion. And even though, yes, you can build for it in the next, you know, coming weeks, it's still just one of those matches. It's like, I don't think a lot of people want to see that, like I said, including myself. So as far as where Jade Cargill stands, man, I don't think that is a good choice for Liv Morgan whatsoever. All right, now moving on to the second choice that Liv Morgan would have had to pick from, it would be none other than the Women's World Champion, Stephanie Vaquer, in what I think would easily be a way better superstar, or way better opponent for Liv Morgan. And number one, because I think that match just on paper would be really freaking good. That's like a match that I really would want to see. I just think that would be a really great match. Also, I feel like that, you know, the polar opposite of Jade Cargill compared to Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vaquer and Liv, they have more interactions, I would say. They have more, you know, they have more kind of like, they have more ties together, I should say, actually, because, you know, even when Liv Morgan was injured, Stephanie Vaquer was having interactions with the Judgment Day girls, with the likes of Raquel and Roxanne, and, you know, Liv is obviously tied to Raquel and Roxanne through the Judgment Day, of course. So I think Liv Morgan has way more ties to Stephanie Vaquer than she would Jade Cargill, meaning that we would get a more thorough build, I would say, for this match at WrestleMania. We would get a more thorough match, a better match in general. I just think that's just a match that could just be so much better than Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill could be, in my opinion. So overall, I think Stephanie Vaquer would be a great choice for Liv Morgan for WrestleMania. I think that's just the perfect choice, in my opinion. And I think that, you know, it all comes down to the fact that they just have more ties together. It would just be a better match, you know, just looking at it from on paper. I mean, it's just kind of just one of those things where it's like, it would just overall just be everything would just be so much better, is pretty much what I'm trying to say, basically. All right, so now that we've discussed who Liv Morgan's options were going to be, who they were, now we need to discuss who her actual choosing was, how it's going to play out, all that. So who was Liv Morgan's choosing? Well, as most of us know, this past episode of Raw, she made that decision, and it was none other than Stephanie Vaquer, the women's world champion. So that is an upside in my opinion, man. Like I mentioned a few moments ago, Stephanie Vaquer is just going to overall play, she's going to tie into Liv Morgan so much better than Jade Cargill would, man. That match, it's going to be so much better. The build for it's going to be so much better. And not just that, like I remember what I said, they have, Liv Morgan or Stephanie Vaquer has also had ties to the Judgment Day with the likes of Raquel and Roxanne Perez. And I think that is actually going to play out a lot in the build up to WrestleMania, man, because as we know, Liv Morgan, she screwed over Raquel Rodriguez originally when she was facing Stephanie Vaquer just a few weeks ago for the world title, and Raquel told Liv, don't come out in my match. Raquel told Liv, I need to do this on my own, but who still came out, who still showed up? Liv Morgan, which ultimately costed Raquel Rodriguez the opportunity to win that title, to win the title from Stephanie Vaquer. And yes, Stephanie Vaquer or Raquel Rodriguez was able to recover because she was able to get a shot at the Elimination Chamber. She also lost there. So now I feel like in the build up to WrestleMania, I feel like we're going to get some sort of plot twist where Raquel Rodriguez is going to be, she's really going to finally, tell Liv that, you screwed me over. You screwed me over, because realistically, she has not been able to have the chance to actually tell Liv Morgan how she feels. But I feel like on the road to WrestleMania and the build up to WrestleMania, man, I feel like Raquel is finally going to tell Liv that, you screwed me over. I'm pissed off. I want that. I want in that match. I want that title. I want to end you, and I want the gold. So I feel like that we are going to be getting a major triple threat match at WrestleMania between the likes of Liv versus Stephanie versus Raquel Rodriguez, in my opinion, man. I think that is what WWE is setting us up for. And honestly, I think that overall it would just be a banger match. And hypothetically, maybe they don't set us up for that match. Maybe we do kind of like what we did last year with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. As we know, Bianca Belair last year, she won the Elimination Chamber, and throughout the build-up to WrestleMania, Rhea and Io would have a match, and Rhea would go in defending her title, the women's world title, and Io Sky would actually win that from her and go on to WrestleMania to face Bianca. But throughout that road to WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley would also find herself just getting right back into the main event. So I feel like that could also play a factor in the build-up to WrestleMania, with maybe Raquel Rodriguez actually wins the title from Stephanie Vaquer. Maybe that happens, and then, but it's still, maybe then it just comes down to either just Raquel versus Liv, or it comes down to, like I said, that triple threat once again, just, different person walking in as champion at WrestleMania. So overall, man, I think the choice of Liv Morgan picking Stephanie Vaquer, it's just overall more of a substantial, or just overall more of it's just a better choice, man. It's overall just a better choice from storyline perspective, how things could play out, man. Things could shift a lot, I would argue, within the likes of Stephanie and Liv Morgan, man. I feel like things could shift not only just for, of course, the title, but also the Judgment Day, man. So, we could have a major shift with the storyline, and compared to, let's say Liv did pick Jade Cargill, what are we going to shift? I mean, that would just not be a good match. I feel like that's just not a match I would want to see. And not to mention, Jade Cargill just really hasn't stood out to me from, in ring overall in her WWE career so far. And and Liv Morgan being like my favorite women's superstar currently, I would not want to see her go up against a person like that, because I just don't think that would be a hit match, man. So I think overall, man, the likes of Stephanie and Liv, they're going to build so much better. It's going to build so much better for WrestleMania, man. It's going to be such a better match. Stephanie Vaquer, a great in-ring wrestler. Liv Morgan, a great in-ring wrestler. And like I said, all the ties that Stephanie has to the entire Judgment Day, like I said, with the likes of Raquel, Roxanne, and Liv Morgan now, of course, I mean, that's all going to tie into one big thing, and like I said, possibly become that triple threat match, like I said, which would be very awesome to see, because that would not only probably get us a new champion, because I think the title is for sure changing hands at WrestleMania. I don't think Stephanie's going to hold this any longer than WrestleMania, and if she does, that's kind of surprising in my opinion. But not only that, we're also going to get a major split up in the Judgment Day, which has been a group for the past 2 to 3 years, or maybe even longer by now. I might be losing track of time. time and shift and finally bringing that group to, you know, have a big split and have a big crack in the middle of it would be a major freaking thing, man, because it's been so long and now the group is just now splitting up. That would be a major turning point for not only for you know, for a lot of things, like I said, the title and the group of the Judgment Day, how all that can play out. So this the overall how everything could play out between Stephanie and Liv is just arguably so much better, man. So many things can shift. The title, the Judgment Day, everything, it can all shift and it could all make one big thing. And you know, it's just, I just can't wait to see it, man. I hope this is what they do, like how the build up to WrestleMania obviously does play out, like I mentioned. I hope Raquel really does get herself inserted into this. I think that would really make things so much better as well. Yeah, now maybe you guys, maybe like you can argue Raquel, you know, she's really just not one of those women that you maybe want to see, or maybe she's just not one of those women that that's really stood out to you, which I can 100% agree with. But I will say, after what we saw at Elimination Chamber, man, I think WWE has other plans for Raquel for sure. And obviously what I mean by other plans is because of how well Raquel Rodriguez played out in the Elimination Chamber. Her offense was probably the best in that match. So even though she didn't win that match, she was just one of the standouts of that match, man, which is something that we kind of needed for Raquel there. So I feel like that since they had her be a standout, you know, she's going to have that momentum. She's going to have that vote of confidence that they're going to finally put her in this WrestleMania match, and inevitably everything's just going to crack at the seams, man. It's all going to turn into one big just freaking nuclear bomb, I'm kind of going to say, man. Everything's going to shift. The world title on the women's side, of course, and just the overall state of the Judgment Day. Everything's going to shift, man. I can't wait to see it. I hope this is what they do, because that would it would just be so awesome to see, man. I feel like we could really get some good storylines, some good storytelling, some good matches in here as well. So that's all an A in my book, man. So I hope this is what WWE decides to do. You know, we've already started the process correctly. We've already started the process off right with Liv picking Stephanie. Now all we need to do is have the right build for it, man. So I hope this is what WWE does decide to do, because this is something I really want to see, and would be overall more, it would just overall make things develop a lot better, in my opinion. So hopefully this is what they do, man. But at the end of the day, we still will have to wait and see, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up today's Ringside Roundup. As always, I hope you guys enjoy it. And like I said, go down in the comments below, leave me your thoughts on everything discussed, man. Do you think Liv Morgan made the right choice? Do you want to see maybe Raquel being inserted into that Mania match at WrestleMania? Do you want to see all that? Let me know all that stuff down in the comments below. And as always, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, best way to show support to the channel, man, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications so you never miss so you never miss the wrestling content of all types that we post on this channel, man. As always, I hope you guys enjoy. Take care, and I will catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.